Welcome back to Smart Social Tips. How are you guys doing this morning? I'm really, really excited to be here to talk to you about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that is how to get shortcut results for your clients so they keep coming back to you over and over again. It also makes things a lot easier whenever you're in the sales process if you have great testimonials. And the way to do that is shortcut results. And I'm excited to talk to you about that today and share you a couple of tips I have. Last week, I talked about how to sell without really trying, and this kind of goes hand in hand with that one. So if you haven't watched last week, you definitely want to go back and look at it. You can watch this without it, but I'm just saying you might want to go back and check it out. Sorry, I'm looking down here to make sure my phone is off. Last time it started ringing right in the middle of the live stream. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited to show you this, and I'm just going to dive right in. Definitely let me know if you are here live. I have a comment section so I can hear from you. Hopefully my audio is better this week too. Last week it was a little crackly at the beginning. All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get started right away and just jump right into the 3 steps. So these are the 3 steps that you need to take to make sure that your clients have shortcut results and that you can then, get better results for them and keep them as clients for a long time. Okay. So let me go ahead and give you that. Wonder if it will actually pull it in. It's not pulling it in for me. I do not know why. Oh, there it went. All right, here it goes. So number 1 is to define your customer. And I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. I'm going to go over each one of these in details with one example and a tool that I want to show you as well. So define your customer, create steps and a process, and get them a quick win. Those 3 things are really, really critical to shortcutting results for your customers and making them stay with you longer. So here's the funny thing, like as experts in our fields, whatever you're doing, I know you have an expertise. Okay, so whatever your expertise is, sometimes we are so in depth with our own expertise that we confuse people because we're this 3 or 4 steps ahead of them and they don't understand really where we're coming from. So one of the things that's been sort of a hard lesson for me too is learning how to simplify things, to make things very, very simple. And if you can do that and lead a person through step-by-step results, whether it's a done-for-you service or whether it is one where you're teaching somebody to do something, especially when you're teaching them, it needs to be really simple. But even when it's a done-for-you service, you need to make it easy for them to transact with you. And it's easy for them to get the results that they're looking for. That's the critical part about that. So the first thing you have to know, of course, in order to do that is you have to define your customer. You have to know who it is you're helping, because if you're not real clear about that, what happens is you are kind of vague in general. And if you're vague in general, people don't see themselves in it. It's harder for them to grasp onto it, to understand what you're talking about. So that's step number 1 is defining your customer. So one of the tools I tried to show last week but had trouble with, but I got it this week, is called Sparktoro. And I'm going to show you Sparktoro today. You can get a free account and do 5 searches per month. But what I love about Sparktoro is it gives you some insider information on the people that you're trying to serve. So I'm going to open this up so you can see it. All right, cool. Here's Sparktoro. So what this tool does, which I really, really love, is you just put in a search term. So I put in here public relations, because I really do work with PR and marketing professionals all the time, both at the agency level. So I run a social media marketing agency called Zoetica Media, and Zoetica is a done-for-you soup to nuts. Like, we are like a extension of your team. We come in, we do the social media, we do all the graphics, we can do the email marketing, all of it on the digital side. So we're a done for you kind of agency in that way. And so we usually work for PR and marketing directors of. And on the other side, I have a training which is called Smart Social Mastery, which I'll show you in a minute as an example. But that one is really for PR and marketing consultants, like people that are trying to create their own brand, kind of like I've done. So I work with these too. So public relations is an important topic for me. So you'd put yours right here. Like, once you sign in, you get it. The plans aren't terrible either, by the way. I think it's like $38 a month for a plan if you want to have unlimited searches and stuff. Oh dear. Yeah, I just went to the pricing. I didn't mean to do that right away. But yeah, it's $38 a month. And the standard, I mean, that's for 50 searches and so on. I think that's useful. So anyway, going back to this, um, and they're not going to charge you for a search you've already done for the month. Okay, so I did public relations, and here's what this audience talks about online. This is really important. Top words in the bio. Their bios say communications, professional, student, and consultant. I work with this 4.6%, and I think this one right here I've struggled with. So I'm actually excited to see this, and you can kind of dig into that as well. I'm not going to go too deep, but you can click on these and it will take you to one more level. So it will do a search of that level. So marketing and communications specialist, communications manager. So these are things in their bios. These are hashtags they use a lot. Digital marketing, digital transformation, content marketing. I love this because we're always like, which hashtag should we use? And I would say use the hashtags your audience is using. And this tells you that directly. Frequently used phrases. They talk about these things right now. Customer service, social distancing. I'm sure that has to do with the pandemic. Panel discussion. That's interesting. Okay. And public relations as a whole. And then underneath that, it even goes deeper. It tells you what the audience follows, visits, and engages with. So this tells me that they, and doesn't surprise me, PR News, AP Style Book, Adweek. You can see more results here. And they cut them off at like, I think 10 or so. And then you have to pay to get more. But you can go really deep here if you pay. And some high engagement hidden gems. I love this too. Where there's a lot of engagement. PR Daily News, Mark Reagan, not shocking at all. I know that. CIPR, SIPR. That's another agent, not agency, association. Excuse me. And you can go and see all the hidden gems here. And then the websites they visit most. Look at this: PR Daily, PR Week, Reagan, Spin Sucks. Oh, Janie, my friend. Anyway, Spin Sucks, and on. I don't even know what this is. I'm gonna have to go check this out. And then so you'll see there's some things here that I don't know if they're good or not, but I'll go check them out later. Why that matters is because you can target that. You can try to write articles. I know Jeannie does take you know people that are right for the blog for Spin Sucks, but you have to be good. Like it has to be good. But that's great. It's not something you can sell on, but it's definitely good. The New York Times. This is the press accounts they read. CNN breaking news, BBC breaking news. So this gives you some really great things. And if you upgrade, you can see the YouTube channels they subscribe to and the podcasts they listen to. It's a really powerful tool. Even at the high level like this, for the free side of it, which is what I've been using, it's really powerful because it gives you an idea of where people are. So I don't know, what do you think of that? That is the first tool I was going to show you. And that really is going to help you to get to the heart of that. Who is your customer and what are they listening to? What are they talking about? Because you want to connect with them on social media, through blogs, through podcasts, through all of those things. And the way to do that is to know what they actually care about, what they're watching, what they're looking at. Otherwise, you're guessing. And I knew PRSA without the Sparktoro tool here. But there's some of those there that I've never seen, even today. So those change too, by the way, they don't stay the same. I looked this up last month and I didn't see those two that I just told you about. So really cool. So new things to look into. All right, cool. So the next thing that I would talk about is, and I'll share my screen again. Gosh, I always forget to do this. Is once you get this part done and you've got your audience research done and you kind of know where they're hanging out, you know what they're doing, then we want to go to creating a steps and a process. So this is a part that I will say that I also struggle to do, but you want to create a process where people can work with you. It's just makes it easier for them to grab hold of the process, understand it, know what to do. 3 to 7 steps. Not much more than that because people can't hold on to things longer. I usually do these live streams in 3 steps or 5 steps. I do that on purpose because I could talk forever about this, but it makes it much easier for you to remember and understand how to apply it to your own self if it is in like some very specific, chunkable steps where you can get things done. So creating your steps in a process is really important for you. What is it that you bring to the table that helps people to understand this better? And you don't have to necessarily go all the way into like, what is my secret sauce? Although I do teach that in Smart Social Mastery, but even understanding how can I get this across in some simple steps that people could follow immediately. Like you could walk away from this live stream, open up Sparktoro and know more about your audience today, like right now. That's what I'm trying to do, is create that. By the way, that's the quick win. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's others too, but that's the next step, is creating a process. So I'm going to just show you mine for Smart Social Mastery so you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is my community group where we are learning how to grow our own personal brand and make that be, something that is driving our businesses. Okay, so how do you create a brand around your business that has a voice that that is not too salesy, that's all that. So I go through all of these different stages with them, and I've explained to them, like at the explorer stage, they're finding out a lot about themselves. Like, who are they? What is their voice? How do they do that? Then once they have that down, they go to the connector stage where they connect with their ideal customer or client. And that is the next stage, right? So how do you find them? Where are they? How do you engage with them? What is the strategic plan for that? All of that. And then we go to the architect phase, which is where we build a strategy that is going to bring together their business goals and the goals of their community. And then after they have their strategy put together, then they go to create the content and all of that. So we talk about where should they be creating the content, how should they be creating the content, and then they end up in the attractor stage. When you're in the attractor stage, that's when you are bringing people to your content pretty regularly. Then what do you do with them? What do you offer them? How do you get them into your world without being super salesy and kind of annoying? And those those LinkedIn people that friend you and then they start selling you something like without even saying hello, that kind of thing. And then the innovator stage is once you have all those pieces into place, you're attracting people in, you're selling your stuff on a regular basis. Then, like, how do you scale from there? Like, are you going to grow into a agency? Are you going to grow into a different product? That kind of thing. So that is a example of a process. So you tell them about this process, you sell them on this process, and then they know what they're getting, right? They know that when they go in, we're going to go through all these stages. This is how we're going to do it. And that's for a long-term membership. So it has to have a success path, if you want to call it that. I call it the pathway to mastery. And that's really it, the pathway to mastery of your marketing brand. So I don't know if you've seen this in other people. I'm sure you have. Like, there's the 4C process and this and that. You've seen people talking about these things in their groups and stuff. And that's why. It's because it helps you to connect to those things much deeper and grab hold of them and understand them. Because if you confuse your client, you lose. I was just on a page the other day and it just had it was too much. There was too many things to choose from. I don't have the research study in front of me, but I know that for the grocery store business, they've done a ton of research on shelf space and putting stuff on the shelf space. And what they found is that if they limit the number of choices, they sell more of everything. Even though I myself hate to have my choices limited, that's something that they found to be true. Because when people come look at a shelf, they're like, what kind of cracker? I don't know, unless they're coming for a specific cracker that they've already sold on. If they're trying to make a decision, it's hard because they're like, I don't know. I mean, so they're more likely to take the cracker from the end cap, right? So anyway, that's the idea. And then the next thing that I want to bring up, which is the last point, and that is this one, which is getting a quick win or a shortcut result for your client. You want to get them a quick win. So that's something I've definitely done for Smart Social Mastery. We actually created a page, and I'll show it to you in a minute, and you might want to do this too. We've created a little tool, I guess is the best way to call it. You can go look at it yourself here at smartsocialsecrets.com, but I'll show it to you as well. We've created a little tool that will help you to put together 90 days worth of content for social media in like just an hour. Like spend an hour on this thing, and then it becomes also a really cool long-term tool for you to use over and over and over again. So definitely you want to grab that if you want it. But let me show you the tool or the page. So it is like so basic, guys. I mean, I'm sure that some of the design-minded among you will hate it, but I use ConvertKit as an email tool, and so I just used one of their landing pages and put this together just basically. And it's got like all of the stuff on there, and you just subscribe right there at the bottom, and you tell me who you are, and boom, you get the tool. And the tool is like a Google spreadsheet. It helps you to put together your content, and I tell you how to do it, and it just walks you through. And part of that was this was actually a part of another thing that I did, and I will do again in June, called Instant Authority, which was a 2-hour workshop where we used this tool, and I walked them through it, answered their questions, did a bunch of stuff, and we got that done right then and there. Like they did it, that group that we just put through did it in 17 minutes. 17 minutes. They had 90 days worth of content ready to go. So, or 90 weeks rather is what we did it. So I cannot believe that works like that well. Like I thought it would be an hour. We definitely set it up and stuff, which took maybe about half an hour, but you could read through it, pretty quickly and get going. So yeah, so that is shortcutting results. So how can you do that? What thing or what little thing can you offer or do that will shortcut people's results so that they are like all in on what you're doing? Like they will buy it because you can make it happen for them faster, because we can almost learn anything online these days, right? We can go find out how to like put together a landing page. We can figure out how to do anything. But if you'd be shocked at how quickly somebody will buy something from you if you're like, I don't have to do all that mess. I know you're going to do it. You're going to do it right. You're going to get it done for me, and it's going to be easy. And all I need to do is this, this, and this. So the easier you can make it, the less friction in your sales process, the more likely people are to buy from you. And really, that's what they're paying for. They're paying for your knowledge, your understanding of how that went. So anyway, that is the whole system. It's 3 things, and I'll go back up here and show you what the 3 things are. It's just 3 things that you need to know. And that is to, if I can get it up here, sorry. Number 1 is to define your customer. Number 2 is to create steps and a process. Number 3 is to give them a quick win. And that is all of the steps. Really, really simple. I hope this helped you. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this in replay. Let me know you watched it, and reach out to me if you have any questions. I am 1 DM away from you on all the social media channels. I am very active. So you can get me at Cami Chat, which is the name that you see on the screen, or did see on the screen. I don't know if it's there right now, but definitely my name is Cami Chat, Kamichat, on all the social media channels. And I would love, love, love to talk to you. So that is all for today. If you have any questions, let me know, as I said, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.